Welcome to our public service announcement video series, Correct and Clarify Misinformation About a Fire District. Misinformation and lack of information are two primary reasons why a fire district ballot measure has not yet been successful in the unprotected area. Our goal is to correct and clarify misinformation and share facts about a fire district with as many people as possible. Please like this video and hit the subscribe button along with the bell icon to be notified when we upload new videos. In order to understand where competition fits into the funding and delivery of fire and life safety services, we need to understand four concepts. The unprotected area, community-based public services, what an all-hazards fire department is, and operational readiness. Then we'll cover what competition is, the consequences of competition in the free market, and how competition has impacted fire protection in our area. And finally, we'll explain how a third of the people in the unprotected area get a free ride when it comes to fire and life safety services. If you purchase fire protection from either rural metro fire or county fire and security, you are in the unprotected area. It encompasses 288 square miles. On this map, the unprotected area is the yellow area that surrounds Grants Pass. The unprotected area is larger than all other fire districts in our county combined. Those are represented by the other colored areas on the map. Rural Metro Fire responds to approximately 2,600 calls annually in this area. The unprotected area includes Wilderville, Jerome Prairie, Riverbanks, Pickett Creek, Azalea, Upper and Lower River Road, Galeese, Merlin, Hugo, Colonial Valley, Jones Creek, Sunny Valley, as well as State Route 199 to Hayes Hill and the I-5 corridor. Rural Metro subscribers make up about 65 to 70% of the homes in this unprotected area. County Fire covers somewhere around 5% of the homes in this area. This area is considered unprotected because private fire departments are not recognized by the state of Oregon. The Office of the State Fire Marshal is the authority over recognized fire departments in Oregon. Rural Metro responds to every incident they are dispatched to by 911. Responders do not verify if the call is to a subscriber's home or not. They respond no matter what. Many people in the unprotected area know that Rural Metro or one of their mutual aid partners will respond, regardless of whether they're a subscriber or not. This encourages homeowners to take the chance that they or their property will ever need help, which is actually likely given the all hazards nature of the 2,600 annual calls that Rural Metro responds to. Non-subscribers are sometimes billed for services after the fact. Payment of such invoices is voluntary. The collection rate is less than 100%. Billing and collection costs, as well as uncollected fees, are written off. That means the expense of delivering services in those cases are covered by revenues received from subscribers, about 2/3 of the unprotected area. Community-based public service include, but are not limited to, law enforcement, public works, that's roads and bridges, child welfare, basic health care, animal control, public education, 4-H, as well as fire protection. Public services like these are intended to serve all members of the community. While you may have never sent children to school in the county where you pay taxes for schools, you benefit by living in a community that provides an education to children, for example. While you may never spend time in county jail yourself, you benefit by having law enforcement take criminals off the streets. Another important aspect of community-based public services includes delivery of services to visitors to our area. Have you ever visited another city and had to call 911? Chances are a fire engine with trained EMTs showed up. Just as you would expect emergency services if you had a traffic accident in another city, visitors to Josephine County should expect the same here. We want to be like everyone else in this regard, and we certainly don't want to needlessly permit Josephine County to take on unnecessary risks and open us up to lawsuits by not having adequate life or death services. In most communities around the country, firefighting is just one of many fire and life safety services delivered by the local fire department. These are called all hazards fire departments and are the norm across the United States. Fire and life safety service providers are not only first responders to fires, but they also respond to traffic accidents, medical emergencies, technical rescues, hazardous materials incidents, public assists, as well as wildland fires, natural disasters, and major emergencies. Public assist is actually a number of different things that don't fit into the other standard categories. So while it certainly could include lifting an invalid off the floor, it also includes things like domestic animal rescues, or a child locked in a car, or a smoke alarm going off with no fire. All fire departments that are all hazards include responses to public assist. To deliver this wide variety of services requires specialized training and equipment. Turnouts, also known as firefighter uniforms, run in the thousands of dollars per set, and each firefighter has their own. And they have a shelf life of 10 years and have to be replaced. To enter a burning building, firefighters must follow the 2 in, 2 out rule, where 4 men have SCBA gear and specialized training. 2 men enter together as 2 men stand guard outside. There have to be enough stations, both manned and unmanned, to cover the territory, as well as store vehicles and equipment. Consider also the coverage across stations needed when one station responds to a call and leaves their own station unoccupied. There have to be enough resources in the area to cover for that situation. Staff must also be trained on a multitude of techniques and must maintain that training. Base model fire engines start at $500,000. That's without being outfitted. The one shown here cost $632,000 in 2018. All this equipment must also be maintained and inspected as emergency vehicles, often by third-party inspectors that charge a fee. There is a large fixed sunk cost to having these trained resources, tools, equipment, and stations to be operationally ready to respond to traffic accidents, hazmat incidents, wildland fires, natural disasters, and medical calls. And all these highly trained people, their stations, equipment, and tools must be ready 24/7, 365 days a year. There's a cost associated with having this capacity, and it's called operational readiness. Competition has its place in many markets. It's touted for bringing down prices and providing choice to consumers. The free hand of the market determines desired products and services. Competition allows people to choose different levels of service and quality. When automobiles were first introduced, Henry Ford said, "Any customer can have a car painted any color that they want, so long as it is black." Now you could choose from smaller budget cars like a Toyota Corolla to a fully tricked out Cadillac Escalade. Competition has created mega superstars based on talent and popularity. Most people will get at least 3 bids when they consider putting on a new roof. Anyone looking at heavy machinery is going to probably look at different brands, models, and then shop at different dealers for the best price and perceived service. Consumers can even find discount brokerages where there are choices of service levels around investment advice depending on your confidence in your own investing savvy. There's no question that competition has its place and benefits consumers in many markets. However, all that glitters is not gold. There are consequences to competition. Many have a love-hate relationship with Amazon. How convenient to get virtually anything you want shipped free to your door for about $10 a month with a Prime subscription. And that includes current movies as well as television. And it includes streaming music. But there is a price to pay for competition. We've all watched and continue to watch as brick and mortar stores close month after month. Last year, the two private fire departments in Josephine County had a price war of sorts. County Fire ran a 2-for-1 campaign along the lines of bring your rural metro bill to us and we'll give you 2 years for the price of one. Rural Metro was offering a 20% discount to new subscribers if they signed up for 3 years billed annually. Now that you see what an all hazards fire department delivers, does it seem reasonable that both departments' cost of service delivery are similar? Would the staff, equipment, tools, and stations required for that operational readiness of an all hazards fire department that covers 288 square miles be equivalent to a fire department with one station that does structural fire protection? Many people don't realize that the private fire service departments in Josephine County are vastly different from one another. People new to the area assume fire service like it is everywhere. It's all the same. I know this is true because that was me when I moved here 2 years ago. There are at least 3 problems with this competitive scenario. First of all, the free hand of the market for fire and life safety services is permitted because Josephine County has not adopted standards for private fire service providers to follow. Literally, anyone with a shovel, a pickup, and a garden hose can start a fire department here. Not even a business license is required. In spite of no requirement to do so, Rural Metro Fire follows the standards followed by the other 19 signers to the Rogue Valley Fire Chiefs Association Mutual Automatic Aid Agreement. Josephine County has had its share of less than fire departments over the years. Rural Metro subscribers have and do pay for the operational readiness in the unprotected area. The second problem with this scenario, this free hand allows county fire and security subscribers to opt out of paying for the operational readiness of an all hazards fire department that everyone in the unprotected area and their visitors and tourists benefit from. Many probably don't even realize this. Any delivery model that allows choice or competition will perpetuate the current unfair financial burden onto Rural Metro Fire subscribers. Third, we don't know the status of last year's 2-for-1 price war. Did it raise enough money to invest in new equipment or training? Is the financial stability of our fire service providers better as a result? Did the community benefit in terms of improved fire protection or coverage area? Or did it cut revenues used to fund the unprotected area's operational readiness? Are we less safe? Competing on price for fire and life safety services is a race to the bottom that could endanger the entire community. In the words of one local firefighter, it's unfortunate that everyone keeps putting money as the primary concern for a fire district versus a concern for life safety. So let's look at what happens when only some of the people in the unprotected area pay for everyone's all hazards fire and life safety services. So right now, about 67%, between 65 and 70% of property owners in the unprotected area subscribe to Rural Metro. These subscribers alone are paying for the entire area's 24/7, 365-day-a-year operational readiness. That means about 1/3 of the people in the unprotected area are spinning the wheel and taking the chance they never need fire suppression at their home. Or they'll pay if they need help. Maybe. In spite of this budget shortfall, thankfully, Rural Metro is able to perform well as an all hazards fire department for everyone in the unprotected area. But what if last year's price war impacted either or both private fire departments? Or what if the poor economic outlook impacts subscribers' ability to renew their subscriptions? This means more people could be taking a chance that they won't need help. More people would choose not to support our operational readiness. As with any for-profit business, when revenues fall, expenses have to be cut to maintain profitability. If this situation is not temporary, there could be reduced services and reduced response times. Now let's look at what would happen with the solution where everyone, 100% of the property owners in the unprotected area, contribute to operational readiness and fire protection. That means no one is taking a chance and keeping their fingers crossed. And it means a reduced cost per thousand for rural metro customers. It also means increased coverage by way of adding a manned station and the opportunity for people within 5 miles of a new station the chance to lower their risk rating, that's ISO, and therefore their homeowner's insurance. In the unprotected area, we have an all hazards fire department that delivers all these services to 100% of the residents and visitors to our area. They also provide mutual and automatic aid to the other 19 agencies in the Rogue Valley Fire Chiefs Association as needed. And likewise, Rural Metro receives mutual and automatic aid from the other 19 agencies in the Rogue Valley Fire Chiefs Association. However, with competition, only 2/3 of the residents pay for services. On February 11th, Chief Phil Turnbull of Rural Metro Fire was interviewed by the Daily Courier at a tour of Rural Metro's Williams Highway Fire Station. From that article, Rural Metro Fire Chief Phil Turnbull said his department possibly could open another station if a district is formed because more people would be paying into the system. Rates could go down too, he said, cautioning that everything is preliminary. So what is a free ride? A free ride is a benefit obtained at another's expense or without the usual cost or effort. For-profit free market competition to deliver community-based public services in Josephine County allows property owners to purchase structure-only fire protection, and that allows property owners to opt out of paying for our community's all hazards operational readiness, as I've explained. It also allows 30% of property owners in the unprotected area to pay nothing, yet they still benefit from receiving services from an all hazards fire department. These folks take their chances that they won't need service or that their insurance will cover it, or that they won't have to pay anything because they're not a contract holder with Rural Metro. Remember that ability to deliver fire and life safety services to visitors? The current model allows non-payers to also get a free ride from contributing to our community's operational readiness delivered to visitors. The only way to make it fair for everyone is through a permanent tax that everyone pays. Any delivery method for fire protection that lets people choose to participate only continues to shift the financial burden to Rural Metro customers. And if the economy contracts locally, Rural Metro may have to raise its rates to cover lost subscriptions. It could well cut back resources and services as well. Is that what we want in the unprotected area, most at risk for wildfire in the state of Oregon? Just 2 county commissioners can put a fire district on the ballot with their signature. Our area is the #1 at-risk community in the state, and a fire district will get us headed in the right direction and ensure adequate coverage for the unprotected area paid for by everyone. It will allow us to apply for grants for homeowners to create defensible space. The pros and cons of a fire district are outside the scope of this video. However, it is important that your voice be heard and you are given the right to vote. Please act as though your life depended on it, because it does.